finish off on a Tottenham update because we've got a few things to talk about just before we leave you guys today. And first up, we're going to be talking about Ben Davies, as Jay Harris from The Athletic says that Ben Davies is set to stay for another year at Tottenham. The defender's current contract expires at the end of the season, but the club has an option to extend it by another year. And I believe, from what I've heard, that's pretty much done.
Yeah, and I think what I heard, we heard last year is they've said Ben Davies can stay as long as he wants, and if he decides to go, we'll let him go because of his service. I'm not too fussed with this. We know he's going to be playing less and less, but he's dependable whenever we've needed him. It looks like he will go into coaching, and apparently he has a huge impact on the youngsters, and we do have a huge crop of youngsters coming through. I think it's game time's going to get less and less. If you look at it, Vuskovic is coming in, Phillips will be here next season, Dorrington will be back. I think he's getting less and less game time, but he is an incredible role model and the way he conducts himself off the pitch. I'm not too fussed whether he stays or goes, and he's been a great servant for the club, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people with problems with this. And I mean, I get it to a certain extent. He's been here for a very long time. He's nowhere near the best kind of player in his position at the club. But I think one more year for a great servant to the club is not any bother, really. It's not going to impact, the transfer situation coming in and out of the club. Since he's been here, all the players that we've signed at centre-back have all been signed. It hasn't impacted in that way. Danso's just come, Romero, Van der Ven, and we'll probably look to bring in potentially one more in the summer if Romero does look to leave. So I don't think it's a problem seeing Ben Davies stay here for another year.
And also, remember, I didn't even mention Radu. Radu's going to be out for most of the season next season, or a large chunk of it. And if we do go back to when we had Van der Ven and Romero out, a lot of the great defensive performances, i.e. the Man City at the Etihad, was Dragusin and Davies. And he gave us some commanding performances. So a 1-year extension for a player that obviously is going to get less and less game time. But I think this may be more for what he brings off the pitch than what he's doing on it.
Mm. Next up, let's talk about Destiny Udogie, because we've all heard those links to Manchester City over the past week or so. And Florian Plettenberg says that he understands that Tottenham definitely want to keep Destiny Udogie for the upcoming season. He's considered a key player in the squad planning, which is why there is currently no price tag put on his name, despite the interest from several top clubs. Instead, the club are more likely to consider signing a backup for the 22-year-old left-back as his contract runs until 2030. So the message from Tottenham is that Destiny Udogie is not for sale.
Yeah, I mean, even if Man City did come in 2030, there is a lot of time on that contract. It is going to be a hefty... It would be more than Walker, wouldn't it? Mm. In the modern day football, it would be much higher than Kyle Walker. And Kyle Walker wanted to go back north. We've seen Destiny's commitment. I think this is a non-starter.
Yeah, completely agree, and it's great to see, because we just need to hold on to our young and top players. And as much as like maybe 2 games ago, even when he wasn't at the top of his game, I think the most Spurs fans would say, we want to see him stick around. But now on the back of these 2 performances where we've really seen him get back to his best, I think that's like intensified even more.
I keep forgetting how young he is as well. He's not even peaking. He's just going to get strong. Exactly. He's just going to get stronger. At no cost, I'd send him.
Yeah. Next up, we're going to talk about Dean Huijsen, the Bournemouth centre-back, as George Picon says Dean Huijsen is likely to stay in the Premier League next season. He's set to decide his club next month, and Spurs are one of the clubs who are willing to pay his release clause. Apparently, he does favour a move to the Premier League over going to Real Madrid or over going to Bayern Munich. I don't know. I mean, there are going to be other top clubs in the Premier League after him. But if we can sell him some sort of project at his age, with Cuti Romero potentially leaving in the summer, I would love... If you're telling me that Romero has to leave in the summer and we bring in Dean Huijsen, I think that would be unbelievable business from Tottenham Hotspur.
I am in total agreement with you. I want to see us sign established stars this summer. I want to see us get some real quality in. But when a youngster of his quality and what he's shown this season at Bournemouth has become available, you know how good this guy's going to become. This isn't I don't see this being a risk at all. I see this being a very, very good investment for a very, very good defender. You checked just before, he's both-footed as well, so it'll be natural on either side. If we were to go and sign one teenager, whatever, this is an elite level teenager. So I think there may be Liverpool. But if we can win the Europa League and get Champions League football, who knows? Definite. I'd love to see him at the club.
He's a player that I wanted to see come in last summer.
I remember you saying.
You know, I've been so impressed with him. Anytime I've seen him play, when he was at Roma, Jose Mourinho was banging on about him, saying this guy is going to be like the future of defending. He's a top level player. He really is. And he's been so good this season in the Premier League as well for Bournemouth. So whoever gets him is going to be one lucky club because he's so young. He's showing this levels already. He can go on to be one of Europe's leading centre-backs.
Great recruitment from Bournemouth.
Yeah. Bleacher Report saying Newcastle will compete with Tottenham and West Ham for the signing of AC Milan centre-back Malik Thiaw this summer. German centre-back, contract running until 2027, currently playing for AC Milan. I don't really know that much about him, to be honest, but apparently we're linked with him.
So we'll have about 300 defenders next year.
Yeah.
Good.
But he looks like he starts week in, week out for AC Milan.
Okay, they're not having the best season at the moment, are they?
No.
But it looks like we're going to have a lot of defenders on the books next season, isn't it? There's other areas I think we need strengthening over defending. Obviously, if Kuti goes, then there's a big hole. But we've just spoken about the person that we'd hope would fill his shoes.
Yeah. And last but not least, you're talking about centre-backs. We've got another centre-back to talk about,
Wicked.
and that is our very own Luka Vuskovic coming in the summer. And he was asked the question about how he thinks of his prospects for next season, about getting game time with the likes of Kuti Romero and Mickey van der Ven at the club. And he says, I think it's possible, even though they're already world-class players there, like van der Ven and Romero, I want to take it step by step, finish the season well at Westerlo, and then earn my place at Tottenham, and then we'll see what the future holds. It'll be interesting to see what the plan is with Vuskovic next season, because we do have, at this moment in time, Romero, Van der Ven, Danso, Dragusin coming back from injury, as well as Ashley Phillips coming back as well. Where do Ashley Phillips and Vuskovic fit in?
Well, this is where I was kind of thinking, when European football is so imperative for Tottenham next season. Forget we're not going to get a league position, we're going to be Champions League, because then it can mean the domestic cups can give these players the moments they can. Like we wanted to see the Europa League used this season for the youngsters. Obviously, it won't be Europa League next season. It's either no Europe or Champions League. If we were to get Champions League football and win it, maybe the Carabao Cup is a place where these youngsters might get their minutes.
We say that though, yeah, we say that, right? But Spurs managers have been criticised heavily for rotating heavily in these cups.
Yeah, well, this is the situation we're in. This is kind of where we are as a football club now, isn't it? We have all these youngsters and we want to see them play, but now where are they going to play? If we're in the Champions League, they're obviously going to heavily favour, for obvious reasons, the Champions League and the Premier League. Maybe this is the season where we say, right, these cup. We said this season, let's see the youth come through. If there's going to be Project Youth, use the youth. If we were in the Champions League next season and the club came out and said, right, domestic cups are going to be used predominantly, not saying 11 youth prospects, there will be first teamers, then I think that's okay.
Fair play. But that is it. That is all we have for you today. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.